Okay, today we will see uh, one more example for Hibernate.
Okay.
Okay, so far like we see only XML, right? We are writing HB XMLs, and there we are defining the table structure, table column names, properties, data type, and column names, and that's what we did so far, correct?
Yeah.
So we are now this example. What we are going to do? We are going to eliminate the HBM XML.
Okay.
So basically, we no need to write the HBM XML. So inside the HVM XML, basically what we used to mention, the table name, column names, and mapping, all those things, correct?
Right.
So this is one sample HVM file. So what we have here, we have a table name, column name, and these are the things, correct?
Yeah.
And this one we used to call as a basically table structure. So the same thing, if you want to perform by using annotation, so how we are going to do? So first we will see the here we so if you use annotations, right, so we are going to eliminate the HBM file, and these HBM details we are going to write in your Java class itself. So that is the only difference. So how we are going to do the changes? So first,
Okay.
come back, this is your Java class, correct? Employee. So this employee class is a, we are going to consider this as a table, correct?
Yeah.
So first one is, right, so if you want to consider this one as a HVM file, then you have to mention this as an entity at the rate of entity. So these annotations you have to add the first one.
Okay.
Okay, later on at the rate of table and name. So what is your table name? So in XML we are giving, right, table name.
Yeah.
The similar way you need to add here at the rate of table name equal to, you can give the table name, any name.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the first parent tag, like this. Okay, this is clear, this point is clear. At the rate of
Table name.
entity and table name, these two are mandatory.
Okay. So I have to give the table name at the rate of entity.
Yes. Why? Because we are not mentioned, we don't have HBM XML, correct? So everything we are
Yeah.
going to do in this class only.
Okay.
Okay, now go back to the previous one. So not this one. Let me go some create example. Not this one. Yes. See here, we have a table name and we have a primary key, correct? ID,
Yeah.
a column name,
Yeah.
and here we have a, like, assigned generated classes we have, right?
Yeah.
So here also similar way. So this is primary key. ID is primary key,
Yeah.
correct? So this one we are going to consider as a at the rate of ID.
ID. Okay.
At the rate of ID, correct? So ID means
Yeah.
it will regenerate the column name from the database side.
Okay.
Correct. So rest of the fields are like a column. If you want to modify the column names, then what you have to do, you have to add annotation. Yeah, this is the ID means first column will, for ID means what, it will regenerate the this particular ID from the database. Correct?
Yeah.
It's kind of the first value. It's kind of this one. Okay, and the second one is a property. So property means the rest of the things are property. These are the properties. So if you want to change the column name, so there is an annotation. So what is that annotation? I will tell you. First, let me run it. So far it is clear, right? The table name we are
Okay.
giving here, and ID it will regenerate it, and these two are the rest of the columns.
So that means that from the actual employee dot HPM,
Mhm.
so regenerating at the rate entity.
Yes. So in this case, you will see here. I mean, you will not see any HBM file, only configuration file, and
Yep.
that's all.
Yeah. So if I write at the rate, so
Uh-huh.
is it how it's coming actually the all the values of tables, something else?
So table name you are giving here, right?
Yeah.
And entity you are mentioning here. So if you give the table name here, right? So what it will do? Each field inside this class it will consider as a one column,
Okay.
and you need to mention the primary key, and rest of the things you then it will consider as a one property as a one column.
Okay.
But you need to mention which field is the primary key by mentioning like
Prime.
this at the rate of ID.
So table and primary
Mandatory.
mandatory.
And
Okay.
rest of the things are optional, like these are the rest of the column names, right? So these are the
Yeah.
optional fields. Optional fields no need to add annotation.
Right.
So if you want to add annotation the column name, right? So I let me tell you the so you need to add like this. Okay, let me add. So this one you can declare as a separate field, private string. So now we have a two fields, correct? Now if you
Yeah.
are not mentioning at the rate of column, right? So what will happen? So for this particular column, if you will not mention this column, the column name, table column name, it will take this one. If you will mention explicitly, the column name will become first hyphen name.
Okay.
So this is also same like XML, correct?
Okay. Yep.
And for the second field, right, here I didn't mention any column name. So what is the column name for this field? Last name. If you want to modify it, if you don't like this name, then you have to add like this. So then you can add whatever you want, last underscore name.
Okay.
But this will not give clear picture like XML. But people are using this one also. Some people will like this one, some people don't like. Why? Because say for instance after some days I want to change the column name, so we need to modify the Java changes, not XML, correct?
Yep.
So XML means it's easy, but Java means we need to regenerate the package and we need to deploy.
Okay.
So that is the basic difference between the XML and Java. Now you can able to understand, right? This annotation, it is not a big deal, correct? You saw so many XML examples. So just only difference is we need to remember the annotations.
So actually, okay, why actually we use the annotation? Mainly the main thing.
XML is main is simple and we can able to eliminate one file. HBM file here it is not there, correct?
Yeah.
So that is the main reason. And another one more change I forgot to tell you. So in cfg.xml, we need to mention your HBM file, correct? We used to mention, correct?
Yeah.
Resource like that. Now there is no resource tag mapping. We need to give the mapping and corresponding your Pojo class name. Why? Because here we don't have any HBM file.
Okay.
This point is clear, right?
Yeah.
If you see the previous example, what we are doing, we are mentioning in HBM in cfg.xml, we are giving our HBM file location. Let me open it. See here.
Yeah.
So here we don't have any HBM file. So in that place we are trying to give our Java class name.
Okay.
So that is the another change. And in main class there is no change. So just we are giving our cfg.xml connection session factory session begin transaction and preparing the object, and we are trying to save it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me run it and we will see the record whether it is inserting or not. So successfully saved. If you want to see the generated query, what we have to do, and go to your cfg xml, and this one what I had to keep, show. So this is very easy, right? Why? Because this is XML change, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, let me run it. Now we can able to see all the generated queries. Why? Still it is not showing. Okay, let me open the database. So now what is the table name I had given? Employee 500, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, now see here the employee 500 is created. Select
Yeah.
start from employee 500. So there is a two records, correct? So these are the two records I have inserted. Kumar, Rajesh, first name, and second name Sai Tejas.
Okay.
And their employee ID 1001 and 1002.
Right.
So that way we can able to insert the data. So this is the advantage of annotation. We can able to eliminate HBM file, and we can able to write all the HBM XML details in Java class itself. See that.
So how many cases we have to use the we use the table and the primary key actually the for annotation. So do we need to use more or only the this two column?
You can able to create n number of columns. There is no any condition. So whatever
Okay,
you are
got it.
trying to do in XML, everything you can able to do using annotation. But only thing is you need to remember these annotations.
Okay.
So now a column name I
Yeah.
modified, right? See, last
Yeah.
underscore name. If you see here, what is the column name here? Last underscore name, correct?
Yeah.
So what I will comment this one. I will not give any column name. Let's see what will happen. For
Okay.
last name, I didn't give any annotation, correct?
Right.
Now let me regenerate it and we will see how the table will be regenerated. So successfully saved. Now let me run the table name. See here, what is the last name?
The last time the default
Yes, the field name.
file name.
This feature is available in XML also, right?
Yep.
So there is no difference between annotation and XML. So we can able to do the same similar thing by using annotation also, but we need to remember this. The what is this annotations?
So annotation actually we use for the only the for field name. Suppose there is so many methods we use. So do we need to use an annotation for methods, or
Methods. What method?
suppose public integer get ID or set ID something else. So we don't need to use
That
our
and all you
method.
no need to modify. This all the same setter getter. You no need to modify anything.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
This is same like a normal poser class only. Only thing is when you are declaring any field, so that time you have to decide whether do I need to change the column name or not. If then what is the column name? If you don't want to change anything, just leave it as it is. Then
Okay.
this
Yeah.
is your column
Yeah.
name. If you want to change it, then explicitly you need to mention column name and type. Type also here it is not required. Why? Because this is the type, right?
Yeah.
So this is one of the example for annotation. This one I don't like this one. Why? Because it's difficult to maintenance. Maintenance is very difficult.
Okay.
So everything is part of Java code. Then no use, right? If you are moving out of Java code, then that is easy. We can able to configure at any time.
Okay.
So that is the advantage. So if that HBM file is there in some other location, if it is not there in your war file, so then what will happen? So you can able to configure at any time, correct?
Yeah.
So that is the main advantage of XML. If you are keeping everything in Java means then again we are going to the original problem.
Okay. I got it. So better actually using the HBM is much more
Yeah,
better.
my suggestion is that one. But
Okay.
now this is a simpler one and easy approach. So people will follow, some people will agree annotation, some people will don't agree. So that is up to them.
Yeah. So another thing is that actually when I was
Yeah.
giving actually taking some uh, reading from the materials. Materials means that the Java T point something else.
Hmm.
They are giving one web application.
Okay.
So when I was trying to get understand the one web application maybe from Java T point,
Uh-huh.
so they create actually one or two more two more classes. So I was actually really finding difficult to actually combine how they are getting into.
So
Suppose or creating one simple uh, data for login, logout, something else. Then
mhm,
they want to register, and after registers, actually,
mhm.
I was trying to make the things how they can actually combine, connecting each other. So
Okay,
I
that one right. A simple way I can tell you.
yeah,
First, what you will do, you will create one HTML file, correct?
right.
Then you will add one action,
Okay.
and in web.xml you will define your action, and you will create one servlet.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
once you click on submit button, it will go to the servlet, correct?
Right.
So servlet is a Java code, correct?
Yeah.
So inside the Java code, inside you have SRC for your servlet, correct?
Yeah.
So inside your SRC, you can configure this one. This XML you can write, this Java class you can write, and this piece of code, right? You have to write in your doGet method.
Okay.
So you can able to read the details by using the session, right? The query or criteria, correct?
Yeah.
So you can able to read the first name and last name. Also you can able to read the first name and last name from the request also. Then you can able to compare. So now whatever
Okay.
you will see here inside the SRC, that you can copy inside your servlet SRC, web application SRC. That is, there is no difference.
Okay.
You got it right?
Yeah, I actually, yeah, actually have to try that. Then
Yes,
I'll
yes.
maybe.
There is no difference here. So now whatever you will see even inside SRC, so everything you can copy into your web application SRC.
Okay.
So now this is your client. Now employee manager is your client. So this piece of
Yeah.
code, what do you mean where you will copy? This piece of code you are going to copy into your get method.
Okay.
When the get method will be invoked, whenever you are trying to submit the button, so then get method will be called, and you will create all these configurations as in factory transaction, and get the by use the query or criteria and get the details, and you can compare the first name and last name with the request parameters.
Okay.
So that is the only difference. So this piece of code will be there in your servlet, because
Okay.
servlet is the trigger point. Do get inside do get method or do post method, wherever you can paste this code.
Okay.
Clear, right?
Yeah.
So if you want, I will create one of the, I will modify one of our servlet programming and I can run it for you, so that you will get idea.
Okay. Yeah, that should be better actually.
Spring Core Java Maven. So this is our old workspace. Okay.
Yep.
So now what I
Yep.
am trying to do, I am trying to create one of the web application. So HTML underscore Hibernate. Okay, now make it 2.5 and finish it. So our simple web application is ready, and we have web.xml. Correct. So this is our web.xml. So here what I want to do, I want to copy one of the existing. So I will copy login.html.
Yeah.
So your login.html is ready, and let me copy the web.xml also, the servlet registration,
Yep.
and let me copy the servlet also. So far, I mean, all these things we saw right last time, how we are creating the web.xml.
Right.
Let me deploy this one, and we'll see whether I can able to deploy or not. So now I need to call my login.html. Now I can able to see my login page, correct?
Yep.
Enter something. So click on that, it will go to the login page. What it is telling. So let me open web.xml. So this is the URL pattern, and this is my login servlet. So we need to clear this error. We need to add runtime environment. I click properties, targeted runtime, and what is your server? Which server we are using? 7.0. Right click, properties, select 7.0, apply, and OK. Now errors are gone. Now let me redeploy it again. It is redeployed, and now let me open login page. So let me enter something. Paste link. Clean build. Is the port number 55.
For
Okay. Okay, let me deploy this one. Oh, so this is working fine. Yes, now it is fine. Okay, this is your page and this is your username and password. Web.xml, I copied wrong file, so that is the problem.
Okay.
Now this is the file this is the one we created, right? So now, so this is
Yeah.
your login servlet. Now what we have to do, you have to copy these files. There is, yes. So inside com src sbm. So now what I will do, I will copy one of the how we are reading the data. So what I will do, I will copy how we are trying to. So basically, whatever username and password you are entering, I want to save that details into database.
Okay.
So instead of reading, I will try to save the details, correct? If you can able to save it,
Yeah.
the similar way you can able to read it, correct?
Right.
So that example we will see. So let me copy all these things. Source com. So let me copy this test folder itself into my servlet. So this is my servlet programming.
Okay.
Now we have src com. So inside com, I will copy my entire test. Com test.
Right.
Now, so this is your package. So far, no error. So here we need to do one thing. So we need some supporting libraries, right? We added as part of class path, correct? So here, these supporting libraries, correct? So these libraries you have to copy into your,
Okay.
sorry, you were telling?
No, no, okay.
Yeah.
Just fine.
So these libraries, right? So you have to copy into your web, what is a web application lib folder. Copy all these libraries into your lib folder.
Okay.
One is fine, and there is another one also we have to copy. What is that? So this is the one. We need to copy the MySQL library also, because we are trying to connect with MySQL database, right? Copy this jar into lib folder.
Okay.
Now this is ready. Now I told you, right? So what is this? Sorry. What is your main XML? So this main XML, this code will be there under your, where is your login servlet? So this is your login servlet. So go to your login servlet.
Yeah.
So you are reading username and password, correct? After that,
Yeah.
what you will do, you can paste this code as it is, or you can write separate method and you can call, that is up to you. So what you will do,
Okay.
you can paste this code here as it is. See here we have already some session field is there. So just rename it to instead of session. Instead of session, what you will do, session 1 you can keep session 1. So these methods and all we have not copied. So here session 1. Now no errors.
Okay.
So here what I want to do, I want to retrieve the employee details. So I will enable this method, get employee list.
Okay.
So this method also I need to copy from the previous example. Go to this method. So get employee list. So this is a piece of code. This method I can copy from the old examples. So where is your servlet? So only thing is everything we have to copy into your servlet programming. That's all. And you can import this list and all. Shit. So that's all. Now what I will just I copied existing code into the login servlet, correct?
Yeah.
So now what I will do, I will redeploy it and I will run it and we will see whether we can able to connect to the database or not. So before that what I had to do, I had to redeploy this application into my server, correct? So now let me redeploy it. See, there are some exceptions are coming. So what are they? So we need to make some JDK version or so I need to redeploy the application. Now let me redeploy. Now let me enter something. If you see here, so we can able to see here username, password, login, my session. What is this exception is something else. Unable to process blah blah dot metadata. So we need to recreate, we need to create new workspace because this is due to some JDK version problem. And let me enable get employee list. Sorry, not this one. That is my login servlet. Yes, so this is my login servlet. Now let me enable, let me call the get employee list session 1, and this is my record. And what is my configuration? Sorry. So this is your login servlet, and I think the method name is wrong. What is the method name? So we have modified in get method, correct? So let me modify this to get. Now let me add username, password, submit it. You see there console, it is trying to execute. You got the details, correct?
Yep.
You can able to read the details, right?
Yep.
Okay, let me close everything and let me reopen. Okay, what is that URL? So this is our application, correct? Now what I'm trying to do, test password something I'm typing, submit it. Now it will go to the login servlet and it will initialize the all your Hibernate features and it will retrieve all the records from the database.
Okay.
So these details are from database basically, correct? And these details are from your, so now you no need this main program. So everything we move to login servlet, correct? So here we are connecting to database and we are getting the records. So for instance, if you want to save the employee details, then what you have to do? So here, right, we have a session, correct? So from the session, you have to create all the object and you have to call the session.save method. So basically, you need to move this, you have to write this piece of code in your login servlet, that's all. And you can able to
So
retrieve,
now,
yeah.
okay, so how many folder files actually have created now. One is login
Login servlet.
template.
This one you know very
Yeah.
well, correct?
Yep.
And this is for listener purpose that time I created. So you can ignore this one, this listener. This is the existing
Okay.
one. Under test folder, we have CFG XML, HBM file,
Yep.
and employee class. There is no
Okay.
main program here.
Okay. HPM.
HBM is there under HBM folder.
Okay. So we have three login, employee.java. Okay. Configuration. Four files. No, actually.
Yes, yeah, four only always. Main instead of main. So here we are using login servlet as a main program.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Just you need to copy the piece of code wherever you need. You want to use servlet or you want to use core Java or you want to use something else.
Okay. Yeah, actually, what I will do, I'll go through the videos. I know everything else, but
Yeah.
when I go through video, maybe
Now
next
things
class
are
I'll.
there like a, I will just let me. Now all the tools are there with you. So how we are going to integrate it? So how we are going to use it? So that is up to your usage. Correct? Now let me what I'm going to tell
Okay.
you, right? So now you have bricks is there with you. Bricks is there, wood is there with you. So you have to construct house.
Yes.
Correct? Now everything is there separately.
Yeah.
You know how you know
Yes.
each and everything. What is the purpose of this one? What is the
Yes.
purpose of
Yes.
this one? What is
Yeah.
the so now we have to combine these two, or these two, or these three, or these two, and you have to use it.
Okay.
Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So similar way now what I did, I moved that main class to servlet. Now after that I can able to, whenever I'm submitting the form, I can able to read the data from the database, correct? See, it is trying to connect to the database and it is trying to read the fields and the query generating, correct?
Yeah.
So this is clear, right? How correct, how you're interacting to database in web application.
Yeah. I'm clear actually how you integrating all four things. So maybe I'll be more clear when I'll get your video. So then
Yeah, yeah,
maybe I
yeah.
have
You
some.
can
If
try.
I
If you
have
have any
questions, then
doubts,
I'll
you can
ask.
ask me. No problem at any time.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And we will connect whenever
Okay.
next time, and we will discuss something else. Okay.
Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
fine.
Take
Yeah.
care.
No problem. Yeah. Bye.